There's gotta be some kind of truth in what I'm saying.
All right, we are good to go.
Good.
Welcome to another episode of Whiskey, Weights and Whey. I guess we haven't really done introductions a lot lately. I probably ought to do that. I'm Chuck.
And I'm Zach.
Yeah, we messed that up the first time.
I don't think we've introduced ourselves since the first episode.
Yeah, we probably ought to start doing that.
That should be part of it.
Yeah. So kind of off schedule this week, but figured we both needed it. I don't know how much ranting we want to do on live on YouTube or podcasts and stuff, but if we get to that point, we might just have to edit some of it out. But
Right.
definitely needed some bro time and drinks.
Absolutely.
Well, start off. What did you do today? Did you work out?
No workout today. Scheduling got off kind of this weekend with weekend plans.
Yeah.
So I did my Monday workout on Sunday and then kind of went for an overnight camping trip. Hiked in a couple miles.
Where'd you go?
Oak Mountain.
Oh, nice.
Snuck up to one of my favorite peaks and kind of off-grid camped a little bit.
One of your private spots?
My private spots. And then, so I hiked out this morning, so that was kind of my workout before work.
Yeah.
A full day of work. Yeah.
Oh, you went to work today?
Yeah.
Oh, so you hiked out early.
Yeah, my first client was not until 11.
Oh.
So slept in, hiked out, came back home, showered up, made it back in time to work. What was your workout today?
More sandbag work. I've been focusing a lot
Getting
of
prep
that.
for it.
Yeah, my neck not hurt. It's not hurting anymore, so figured I'd take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Don't have the issue today, which I didn't go near as heavy today. I just did more repetitions. I think we ended up doing 8 sets of 2 reps.
Yeah.
Just went in a cycle, so it was low rest time. I had 2 guys working out with me.
Yeah.
Scott would go, and then Jonathan would go, then I would go, and just without a break.
Yeah.
Definitely a good workout.
You feel more confident in it?
Yes.
So those repetitions, you're looking more of technique more so anything?
Yeah, because this past weekend I saw a lot of videos coming out from a show. I think it was South Carolina Strongest.
Okay.
It's a pretty big show. It's a qualifier for the Arnold and some other stuff. And there was a lot of guys that I know personally who were doing it, and I was watching their techniques because they had a sandbag to shoulder event similar to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
They had to actually hold it until they had down call. I can just chunk it over my shoulder.
Yeah.
But I was watching a few different guys how they would grab it to roll up their chest. So it seems like I was really worried about my bicep for a couple of the angles that they were doing. But
Yeah.
there's one hand over, one kind of under, push up, and then catch. But I did it today with the 220 for several sets and seemed to be going pretty good. So
Nice.
I just got to get comfortable with the motion.
Yeah.
I've got the strength. I just got to get the routine down.
Yeah. That's what those high reps will do.
Especially in endurance too, because it's a ladder, getting heavier and heavier.
Right.
But what are we drinking today?
Well, I hear that you got something new.
Yes. Let me slide this way. So I went to the store this weekend, and we had put up on our Instagram what did people recommend.
Yeah.
Not a single one of those recommendations were in stock.
Of course not.
My ABC store in Calera has not got the biggest selection.
Yeah.
The one in Alabaster. Have you been to the one there, Phil?
I always go to New York right here. Well, we call it New York because the owner's from New York. So I can't remember which one it is. It's the one off the airport exit coming down on your right.
Okay.
They're good about if there's something specific you want, you let them know, they'll bring it in.
Well, there's one. You remember where the old Walmart used to be, Paul?
Yes.
Right across the street from it, there's an ABC store, and it's massive.
I gotcha.
I want to go back up there. It's just kind of out of the way. But I did find this one. It's a Breckenridge bourbon whiskey. It caught my eye because whiskey with snow melted water. So we're drinking the Rocky Mountain water.
Love it.
Yeah. I did post about it, and they quickly shared it. So I'm always good to support. I love that sound.
Sorry.
Support brands that support us. You can tell today was rough. By the way I pour it. But yeah, we'll stick with this one today, see how it goes.
All right.
I have already opened it because I tasted it Saturday. Sorry.
And it was
good. Okay. Yes. I guess while we're here,
chin chin.
that's better than it was Saturday. I think after it aired out a little bit.
Yeah.
But
It always tastes better when it's really feeling rough.
yeah, days like the day. I'm sure it's in. And it's like, so, oh yeah, First Form. There's a link below for our link to First Form. We get commission off of that. That helps support the show. And then if any of these other brands would like to send us something to try on the show, we would be happy to test it. I know we've talked about it before, and I probably ask you every time, but do you have anything outside of Make-A-Wish that you're looking to start prepping for? I mean, even like 2 years down the line or something?
Trying to think, there hasn't been anything that really has caught my eye. Like, you know, like since we may go out to Colorado for the live stream.
Yeah.
So I may do the Pikes Peak Marathon Challenge route.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not the same time as the actual race, but I may kind of run the course and just that's fun. So yeah, nothing really in the mix of things. Like I still am trying to pinpoint something that looks fun and exciting because I've done, you know, a ton of ultra running specifically, and so I want to find some kind of like hybrid or just all-encompassing functional fitness kind of thing. And I know there's, you know, like Go Ruck has a bunch of good stuff, like the challenges, and you know, there's a there's a fun adventure race down in the Coosa River. I think it's called the Coosa River Challenge.
Yeah.
So it's the 1st of October every year. So you're mountain biking, you're trail running, you got some obstacles, you got to do like a 7-mile kayak paddle.
Cool.
You could do teams. So
hey,
maybe worth, I think that's birthday month, so it could be a birthday present to myself.
just let me know, man. Doing the live stream for comps is just destroyed our weekend plans.
Yeah.
Like in a good way. I mean, we're very grateful for the people who have hired us on to do it or asked us to come out and do it. But man, like my schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not even all. I think 11 Saturdays out of the rest of the year are dedicated to just going to do live streams.
I mean, that is a lot of commitment.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
so it's
you know, and I was kind of talking, also journaling about that earlier.
I saw you pull that.
Yeah,
and
so it's just like, you know, give, but don't let it into you. You know, and so much giving is such a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can be rewarding, it can be uplifting, it can, you know, do so much good in the community. But at the same time, you can get to that over-giving situation that kind of takes away, and you start feeling things like resentment.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to be careful when you like commit to all these things. If you fully commit and say, hey, I'm going to do this, but you may have to reassess and reflect on it and say, hey, is this worth committing to as much in the future? Because that's been something that I've had to be toying around with a lot lately. Because especially with the band, you know, like been playing with the band for many, many years, but at the same time, it's like that is something that I just can't give as much time to anymore, unfortunately. And it's just because, man, like the guys are having kids, just different stages in life. It's just not something that's top priority.
Yeah.
At the moment.
No, I understand that completely. I'm trying to get better about prioritizing certain things. You know, obviously, my day job as the main breadwinner, I've got to prioritize it.
Yeah.
Trying to get this channel and not just the show, but this channel, because there's a lot of different things we're trying to do with it.
Yeah.
Up off the ground, which includes the live stream stuff. If we could just get this to be somewhat flush.
Yeah.
Money does not make equal happiness, but it does make life a lot easier.
It does. You know, because people will say, you know, money's the root of all evil. I mean, at the same time, it's like we're all looking for freedom.
Yeah.
You know, for me personally, like freedom is a metric of success. Like for me, I want to be free of having a boss. I want to be free of having some entity or somebody else dictating my time or where I have to be at a certain day, I have to be able to work these certain hours. Like freedom is that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times you have to have money in order to be free of money.
Yes.
And that's something that I've had to struggle with because my profession, like I'm in a nonprofit,
Mm-hmm.
you know, kind of like social work, kind of helping, field. And we don't think of it as profitable because like, just because I'm helping somebody doesn't mean that I can't be profitable with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it feels like a weird paradox and a contradiction in a lot of ways.
Yeah. And I think the issue when you talk about, money's the root of all evil, it's more when people want more than they need.
Yeah.
Because like my goal isn't to get rich. My goal is to be able to pay my bills and not empty my bank account each week.
Yeah.
So I want to not live paycheck to paycheck. I could care less if I had a mansion.
Yeah.
I'd be happy living in a camper, which we almost did at one point until we found out we were having another kid. That's a crazy story. But no, I do agree. The freedom aspect is probably the most appealing. Like just being able, not having to go and do something based off of what somebody tells you versus just what you feel is necessary.
Right.
So
it's not about getting super rich so you can go on these elaborate mansions and cars and stuff. For me, it's about stability. Like what can I do to make enough money where I'm not having to worry about the bills? I can still pour into my hobbies. I can pour into experiences. I can pour into whatever profession that I'm looking at the moment. And how can I pour money into my community and like specific people needing needs? So it's just like, I don't think I want money to flaunt. I want money to have freedom in a sense.
Yeah. But on that whole giving mindset, what would you say if I had a gift for you?
Well, I'm really shitty about receiving gifts.
I don't know. You might be really shitty about receiving this one because I signed you up for the 300-mile Arizona ultra marathon. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I signed you up today.
Off record, we better be joking. Yes. Okay. Because A, I know how much that's probably going to cost, and B, I don't want to cover 300 miles and
I've got to show you this. So, I was.
Where's it at?
It's in Arizona.
Okay.
Where's my mouse? There we go. So I've been trying to get our Instagram page up and functional, people getting some engagement.
I got you.
And I'm trying to follow like-minded things for both of us,
right.
Not just what I like. So I've got Strongman, I've got marathon runners, I got whiskey,
right.
And I've been trying to share a lot of stuff, but I came across. Let's see if I can get it pulled up on the screen.
I was about to say that because that thing probably cost at least like $2,000.
I don't know the price of it. I gotta look. Let's see. I understand. It's called the Arizona Monster 300.
So I wonder if it's the same folks that are doing the 200 out there.
And, I didn't realize it was this past weekend. Oh wait, no, that's when registration opens.
Registration opens. Okay.
Registration opens.
Yeah, because I think this is a new one because they do a lot of races out that way. I think there's the Cosadena 250 that runs through Arizona. My friend Bree, who I went out there in September with, and we were doing the Hard Rock 100 route. She signed up for that, I believe, and so she's prepping it. And like it's crazy because she lives in Flagstaff.
Yeah.
And like some of the route runs like half a mile from her home. So I was like, man, how awesome would that be?
Yeah. You just dip into your house if you need something.
Right.
I mean, what's a half a mile when you're doing 200 something?
Exactly.
Okay, so it's 309. I wonder if anybody's going to do it down the back.
Probably not the first year. Somebody's crazy enough to do it, but
elevation gain is 41,000.
So that's not terrible.
So
over the course of 300 miles,
wouldn't it be? So the elevation gain and loss, because is it going up 41,000
and
down 42?
Yes.
So the true change is 80, like overall
83. Yeah. So you got to look at it. So we've done the Cruel Jewel 106 miler in Georgia. It's 106 miles, 33,000 feet of climbing, 33,000 feet of gain, and just that.
Yeah.
So you look at this spread over 300 miles. I mean, 300 miles is freaking hard.
Yeah.
But that elevation is kind of, I think, on par
Let's see.
for what it is.
84% of it is single track.
Beautiful.
10% is bike path.
Okay.
9.5 is paved road. 6 miles, or 2% is dirt road.
Yeah.
You got 19 aid stations. Entry cost, oh my God.
What was it?
$1,995.
That's why I was gonna be so pissed off if you just said I just got you a gift.
No, I love you, but man, my tax return ain't come through.
170-hour cutoff.
Oh my God. 7 days and 2 hours.
So
There's gonna be somebody running all week. Or people running, they're gonna be running all week.
yeah, absolutely. So Alabama just had their first, I say Alabama, but it was hosted by race directors from Alabama.
Uh-huh.
So they had their first Southern States 200 miler. So it runs the Pinhoti essentially from Georgia side to Alabama side, ending in Chehaw State Park. And somebody finished it, I believe, in 48 hours. The winner was 48 hours.
48 hours to run 200 miles.
So that, so an average, a good 100-mile runner is like 24 hours. So he just basically ran 2 100-milers back to back.
So, but I mean, what's the realistic ability to be able to carry that 100-mile pace for more than 2 days? Like, is it realistic somebody probably could do it in 72 hours?
Probably not.
Like, what it would be if you had to guess what's going to be the best time for this race. Like let's go ahead. I'm gonna write it out. Like, let's do over under kind of thing.
Because I try to think back to what was the fastest time for the 250 miler.
What's the fastest 100 mile that you know of?
Oh, it's something like 11 hours.
What?
No joke.
We got to Google this. That's insane. 11 hours?
But it's around a track.
Oh, okay. All right, not non-track race, like terrain, elevation change, all that stuff. What do you think the best, like to your best knowledge, what's the best 100
I mean,
time?
you're still looking at a 13, 14 hour.
Okay, let's just go high and say 15 hours.
Okay. So Western States, usually the winner, that's a prestigious one. I think it's got 23,000 feet of climbing.
Yeah.
Very mountainy in California. It's typically the winner is 14 to 16.
Okay.
So let's say 15 hours. That's elite level.
So, all right, 15 hours
Yeah.
for 100 mile. You said the 200, that's every bit of what the fastest time was what?
So the one that they just did today was 48 hours, I think. 48 hours and some change was the winner.
Okay, so that goes from 15 to 48. So more than doubling. Let's say the over-under is 100 hours.
Under.
You think under 100 hours?
Absolutely.
What's that in days?
So you got to think what was the.
So, go back. So the cutoff is 170.
Okay, yeah. Somebody's banging this out in 100 hours. Way less than 100 hours.
How much under do you think? I'm going to write this down.
Let me look at.
We're going to refer back to this after. When's the race end? When is the actual race? Oh, this ain't until next year.
Right.
I thought it was this year. Race calendar. Are we getting into the wrong thing? Let me go back.
Let's see.
Okay, so it's April 4th to the 11th of 2025. It's a year from now.
Okay.
So we'll refer back to this in a year. But I'm going to say the fastest time is going to be 99 hours and 30 minutes.
Okay.
So right under.
The fastest time last year for a 250-mile race in Sedona, same kind of area, 69 hours. So you got to look at 50 more miles.
Right.
So the year before it was 60 hours was the fastest.
I'm still going to stick with like 90. I'm going to say 90. I'm just going to go even 90.
What was that? 84.
84. All right. Loser buys the next bottle of bourbon after that race is over with.
Fair enough.
And I'll have to refer back to this video because I'm writing it down and I'll probably lose this before then. So 84 hours for you. And we'll say 90 for me. What's that pace? So 84 hours. for 300 miles.
So I think a 24-hour 100-miler, you're looking at 14-minute 30 pace, so roughly.
15 minutes a mile was,
That's still cruising, man.
but 60. That'd be 75 hours at 15 minutes a mile.
What did I say it was going to be?
You said 84.
Yeah, let's think about that.
Okay. So
Somebody's going to do it.
that's insane.
It is insane.
I saw something else about this.
I just couldn't take 7 days out of my life and be like, hey, I'm going to go run for 7 days. Because, like, then I have to come back to work.
What's like if you do it at that time? It's only 4 days. We gotta read this because I gotta find the guy's Instagram and give him a shout out, but because I found this on Instagram by a guy just talking about the stuff going on.
Yeah.
Finishers will receive a unique artisan-made belt buckle. The finishers print. Top 3 male, female will receive special awards. You better get some cash prizes for $2,000 entry fee. Jesus. What do you think the head count's going to be? Do you think how many people you think is going to sign up?
It's a great question. It'll sell out probably. So I would say 200 people.
200 people.
So 200 times 2,000. What is that?
Make me do math while I'm drinking. That's stupid. Let me get the calculator back out of here. Oh, let's see. So $2,000 times 20 people is $40,000.
So
Give or take a couple.
200 people.
Oh, 200 people. $400,000.
$400,000. So what do you think the cost, like operational costs, are going to be? Not $400,000.
God, no.
So
I've run like my biggest show right now, and I don't mind sharing this. Like my biggest show for Strongman, which includes like $3,000 of cash prizes, and like $3,000 worth of trophies, is $11,000.
So you're looking at what they're having to pay for is the buckle is going to cost a lot, typically.
Mm-hmm.
But you're looking at t-shirts, swag. You've got to have like tent stations set up for sleep stations. Like, so this type of race, you're having like cots and stuff set up.
They did say they had like 19
aid
stations.
But you guys think like they're
a lot of
you're not spending anything on people.
Yeah, because it's all
most of it's volunteer.
Yeah, there's a volunteer sign up.
And you got like so I'm saying like, man, you are raking in the money.
You start in Patagonia, Arizona.
So you got some buses. Yeah. So there's going to be some of that. But.
I love this. All right, so it's a graduate level entry. It says, please consider all these factors carefully before registering for the event. Physical and mental. This run is not for the faint of heart. It is a nonstop, multi-day event. It's very physical and mentally demanding. Runners often experience hallucinations and sleep deprivation.
True.
Have you ever experienced that in any of your races?
So sleep deprivation is pretty common going overnight, but the only time I've ever hallucinated, so I got invited to do a fun run. It's called the Pitchell 100K. So
fun run.
It's like almost like 70-ish miles, but you start on Mount Pisgah and run to Mount Mitchell, North Carolina. So the fun run starts at midnight. Right? So me and a friend, I went over, I slept on our couch in Atlanta. We woke up about 6, drove up to North Georgia, did some hiking on the way, kind of went to North Carolina, hung out at the dude that kind of created the event, had a couple beers, had some pizza, and then started at midnight. So we'd already been up for, 16 hours at this point before the race or the fun run even started. So we pushed through, and I remember she dropped out at the 32-mile mark, halfway mark, roughly. She twitched her ankle, and I was just like, I don't want to do the next half mile. She's like, no, you got to do it. We came all this way. And so I remember about, 60 miles in, I was munching on some Sour Patch Kids, and at this point I've been up for 40-something hours. And I walked past this stump. And my logical brain is saying, that's a stump. But the hallucination side of my brain is saying, that's a monkey here in North Carolina. And so I walk probably 10 or 15 yards. I'm like, you got to go back and just check. Because like, you're not going to be satisfied until you actually go and say, this is not a monkey. And so, so I backtracked and gave the little guy a little nudge with my foot. And of course, it was not a monkey.
Wait, I'm going to probably embarrass myself because my geography is horrible. Is this the Appalachian Mountains?
It's close to that range. So
There it could have been just like somebody living out there all their life. You know, my brothers, my sister, my wife.
It's not Appalachian Mountains, but it's those kind of mountains. We'll put it that way.
So, I mean, it could have been something reminiscent.
But it
wasn't.
It was not. I kicked it and verified. It was not a North Carolina monkey.
Are they indigenous to that?
Yes. But no, I think that's the only time I've actually hallucinated. There's been times where you like see things because you're so sleep deprived. You're like, oh, is that a bear? It's like, no, it's a log.
Yeah.
Just putting those pieces together. But I will say, when I was doing the Grindstone 100 in Virginia one year, it starts at 6 p.m. I was about 30 miles in. It's been raining, windy all night. It's middle of nowhere, Virginia. And I'm hearing children laughing on top of the mountaintop. And like, it was like legitimately freaking me out. I'm like, I know that there's no kids out on the mountain.
I mean, they might, but they probably live there.
But it's like, at this point, it's like after midnight, stormy, windy. And so I kind of dismissed it. You know, sunrises, everything comes back to normal.
Yeah.
But after the race, one of my best friends at the time, she was like, I had this weird thing happen to me where I heard children laughing at this section. I was like, probably too. So I don't know if this was like a shared delusion or if this was like, hey, maybe there's some like ghost kids out there somewhere.
Ghost kids or wrong turn.
Yeah, wrong turn kept popping in my head.
Yeah.
It pops in my head way more than it should when I'm especially solo running or solo adventuring.
Do you remember that movie like in detail?
Yeah.
So
remember Outlast the Dutch Cube?
Huh?
Remember Outlast the Dutch Cube?
Yes. One of my early crushes.
Same.
One of my good friends, he lives in California now, but at the time he lived out here, he could do the laugh that the little dude did. Real maniacal, crazy. So we watched that movie in a barn that I had converted into like a clubhouse. And it was me, him, a couple girls from high school, and there was probably about 8 of us in there. We're all just chilling, watching this movie, and it gets dark, and he sneaks out and goes up into the woods. So when we all walk out, he does that laugh like dead on. And man, every one of those girls went sliding down the hill. Not even running, just sliding. But that's hilarious. I've never had a hallucination.
Yeah.
That I know of anyway. I mean, could have been. But these type of races, I can only imagine what comes up with people. Let's see. Hopefully we're sharing the right page because I want to keep reading some of this.
Yeah.
Experience and preparation. Runners should have ultra distance experience. Oh shit. Runners are expected to know what to carry. It was something else the guy read. Pandemic. The run is inherently dangerous. Runners are expected to be able to navigate in case the course mark you're missing. Imagine, could you imagine getting lost in the middle of the Arizona desert?
It'd be rough. Like, you know, and it's terrible because like there are people that will sabotage. Like we've been in North Georgia and we've had a race flagging sabotage and like the whole 13-14 pack that we're running with just completely gone off track. So it's very disheartening that people would actually do that because it becomes a safety concern, like a legitimate safety concern at that point. It's not funny. You're not proving a point.
Especially in the mountains and stuff. You can get somebody lost, never hear from them again.
North Georgia, there's always been conflict between like backpackers and hikers and the old timers that think, hey, the trail should be enjoyed at a slow pace, and then you got trail runners that are just trying to cover the ground. So instead of mutually saying, hey, we're going to respect each other, there's been a lot of sabotaging going on. So it sucks. I think it's gotten better over the years, I will say, but
really sad.
it is.
Oh, well, no, I did not sign you up for this.
Thank you for not only me not wanting to cover 300 miles, but also for you not shelling out $2,000.
I figured it would make a really good episode. I could come out there and just kind of.
Now, if you want to sign me up for something and like we go film it and stuff,
Yeah.
I'm in for that. As long as you're not paying $2,000.
I would need like a dirt bike or something to follow along. That's no way I can run with you.
You can get you on a bike.
I couldn't even bike 300 miles. What are you talking about? I got strong legs, but they have no endurance. I can climb high elevation over like a 5-minute pace, but that's about it.
I mean, you did well in like the mud runs and stuff.
Well, that's because the mud runs are completely different. Like, you've got obstacles that take away the running aspect.
So it's not complete endurance the whole time.
Exactly. Like, I love doing the Warrior Dash, which I don't even think that's a thing anymore. They've now got the Tough Mudder, which the Tough Mudder's been around forever, but we did one 3 years ago. It was right after everything opened back up. A buddy of mine had lost a lot of weight and he wanted to do one.
Yeah.
And I forget what it was called. It was like mud run something.
I gotcha.
But it was a really fun race. But the thing that kills me is like every one of them, even if it's 5 or 10K, whatever it is, it's like 1 mile of running with nothing. And that always kills me.
Right.
And as soon as we get to the first obstacle, I catch my breath, I'm good to go. I climb something because I use upper body muscles and I don't use my legs.
Well, I will say that a friend of mine just brought to my attention that there's a barbarian challenge in Gadsden in June. I don't know what you got going on in June.
What weekend?
I want to say it's like the 3rd weekend or something. I haven't checked my planner either, but
Because June,
I think it was
I think every weekend's spoken for, but there is my birthday weekend, so maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Barbarian Mud Run or Challenge, June 15th.
Okay.
That is actually a weekend that I don't have something planned already. We were talking about going somewhere for my birthday, so that could be it.
I mean, you've got a lot going on in June, so don't let me sway you.
You've already bullied me into so much. I might as well let you do it one more time. But let's see. Oh, crap, almost there. So we got. Can you see the video is very well? Oh, here we go. I want to see what the obstacles are. That's what.
If you look at the pictures, it kind of gives you an idea.
No, sometimes they post it, so I was just curious. Timing, course description. So, challenge. I don't see it listed. I don't know. Every time I've done a mud run, the obstacles is where I recover. Because, especially now, I've put on a lot more weight doing strongman. The last mud run we ran, I think I weighed 190 pounds, maybe 185.
Yeah.
No more than 195. I'm sitting at about 215, 220 right now.
Gotcha.
And my thighs are bigger than my waist. So, carrying these logs around is not going to be fun. But I could probably slim down between now and June.
We'll see. Or you may not have to slim down at all, and we just have fun with it.
Sure.
We don't have to be competitive all the time.
I really have enjoyed doing this show with you. It's been a good outlet for stress.
Yeah.
I was talking about it with Alex, just having something that's for me to do, which I want Alex to be on the show at some point.
Yeah.
We talked about doing it on this weekend, but I'm just enjoying having some time without kids.
Yeah.
Her sister was gracious enough to volunteer to take the girls. Like, we didn't have on them all, thankfully. She just volunteered to take them.
Yeah, sweet.
So we had from Saturday morning until this morning, I drove up to Huntsville to pick them up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I did a store visit, got my work day knocked out, and just drove about 6 miles down the road to pick them up. And it was nice just to catch up on stuff that we can't do when they're around, like watch shows that would scar them, like Fallout.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also important just to have time to ourselves.
Yeah.
I think that's like we get caught up in that daily grind. Like, I know we're bad about it too. Katie just started a new job. Well, I say just started, but she's 8 months into a new job. And so it's still within that transition period. So we're still making adjustments, and she's having to work after hours. She's having to go to all these events. So it's just like, we're just missing each other so much. So it's like, hey, we've got to like schedule out this intentional time where we just chill.
Yes. No, it's been very therapeutic. I guess is a better way of saying this. Having an outlet to discuss things. Not everything we talk about goes on the show, but
Right.
we do get to talk about a lot of different things.
Right.
Come up, have a few drinks, and I do appreciate you doing this one.
I appreciate you, dude.
So I guess we'll wrap this up. Cheers.
Cheers. Nobody cares, man.
Train harder.
Life